Hi, welcome to Movie Review Mom. I'm the mom and I review the movies. And if this is your very first time visiting my channel, yay, you found me. I hope you enjoy this review and that you subscribe and that you come back again and again. Be sure and click on that little bell notification and you'll be told every time I upload new movie reviews and trailer reactions. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Together. This BBC TU film airs in the US in August 2021. It's rated R and it's an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell first, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents and even film recommendations for other movies I think you'll enjoy, as well as themes worth talking about. And this movie is definitely worth talking about. So first, in a nutshell, the official summary of this dark comedy from Bleecker Street says, quote, "This is the story of a family like so many who found a way to survive together. It is the hilarious and heartbreaking story of a couple who are forced to reevaluate themselves and their relationship through the reality of the COVID lockdown." The movie is directed by Academy Award nominated Stephen Daldry with co-director Justin Martin. And speaking about the movie, writer Dennis Kelly explained, quote, "Together is about a couple who totally hate each other, but have somehow found a way of existing together by not talking to, thinking about, noticing, communicating with, or being in the same room as each other. And then the lockdown happens. It's about how humans negotiate their shared experiences when they think they have nothing in common other than staying alive. And it's about how you can hate what you love and love what you hate. And Sharon Horgan and James McAvoy are brilliant in it," end quote. And with that last sentence, I absolutely agree. So let me give you the list of things that I really liked about the movie. First of all, I love James McAvoy and think he is such an incredibly talented actor. He gives a fantastic performance in this role, as expected. And the truth is, I think he is a brilliant chameleon of an actor. Some actors kind of play the same character in all of their films. That doesn't seem like acting to me, but he acts. To me, that's true acting when you change your character. I know people call it character acting, but he picks up a different accent. He looks different. I just think he's fantastic. I'm such a fan. So when James McAvoy learned that Sharon Horgan would be in the cast in the role opposite him, he said it was a no-brainer to join the project, and so he did. I think the first time Sharon Horgan was ever even on my radar was when I saw her in the movie Military Wives. She is definitely an equal match for McAvoy in this role, which is an extremely impressive feat. I appreciated the little details from the very beginning to set up the setting, such as watching them stockpiling toilet paper that we see in the very first scene, and the evolution of mask wearing and changing artwork on the walls created by the son, who is partly being homeschooled on and off during the pandemic and that kind of thing. Hidden among the ugly zingers about each other are some very sweet, sincere, and vulnerable compliments that shows the spark of true love between these two people. Super entertaining writing by Tony Award winner Dennis Kelly. It's emotionally raw, brutally honest, witty, and real. The amount of lines that need to be memorized and delivered by these two actors is astounding. And the movie was only shot in 10 days. That's super impressive. The characters' names are he and she because they represent all of us and what we've all gone through during this pandemic this past year. Stephen Daldry has created some truly unique films with touching lessons attached and insights like The Hours and Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Those were two of my favorite ones. The last conversation the couple had, I thought, was extremely touching. And I also loved the final shot of these two neighboring kids jumping on their trampolines, and you could sort of see them over the fence as everyone was still in isolation. Now, there were a few things that I didn't like. And so not very many, though. I thought that the movie was very good. However, probably the very first thing on the list is this is not going to be everyone's cup of British tea or UK tea. First of all, I think it would be exhausting to have to be locked down in quarantine with these people. Most people would prefer getting COVID to actually spending more time with them. So that being said, they're entertaining, but they're also extremely flawed. And you feel very uncomfortable with the way they treat each other, the things that they say, and they're very colorful. I feel guilty because my family's quarantine experience has been very vastly different from what this movie portrays, almost peaceful and even enjoyable, despite the horrifying numbers of deaths and the fear that humanity on this entire planet has gone through all around me. I think it's because I love the people in my house, so I didn't mind being trapped inside with them. Some viewers won't enjoy how the actors break the fourth wall and talk directly to the camera with no explanation really of who that third person holding the camera is supposed to be. I thought it was really interesting and very different, and I like different. Some viewers won't be interested in watching this because they'll feel like they've already experienced all of this drama for themselves and they don't want to go through it all over again. Other people will definitely be able to relate and will nod in an agreement and say, yeah, that's what I felt. I also felt really bad for the son, Artie, to have to live in such a toxic environment. And then I also thought the closing song choice was kind of odd. All right, let me give you some tips for parents. First of all, kids are going to be totally on board because it's basically two adults talking and fighting the entire time. There's profanity, including many, many F-bombs. The couple talks about their intimate relations, which is inappropriate for kids to hear all of that. There's quite a bit of political talk, and so that'll go over the heads of kids. And again, this is not a kid's movie anyway. He and she have completely different political philosophies, and the writer's own perspective, I think, peeks through a few times. So some of the themes that are really interesting that are illustrated are marriage, relationships, dysfunctional families, communication, anger, fear, hurt, quarantine, and judging others. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines that I can share with you to kind of give you a taste for the movie. And I put them all on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can check those out, but I'll share just a couple of them with you right now. So one of the hurtful zingers that I was talking about early is spoken by she, played by Sharon Horgan, and she says to her partner, "Now I think you have some of the same amount of charm as diarrhea in a pint glass." And I was like, oh, well, there was a visual for you. And what a horrible thing to say. And then a really interesting line that he speaks, and he's played by James McAvoy, says, "The love that exists beyond hate, I don't think a lot of people get there." And I thought that alone is a fascinating nugget. And that's what the movie's about. It's all these layers of hate and years of resentment, but underneath that is their love. Can they get past all of those things and find love that will survive and that will endure? So I thought that that was really interesting. And then, like I think many of us have felt during the pandemic, she says, "I don't want to go back to normal." You know, we kept saying, when is it going to go back to normal? When can we go back to normal? As if normal was perfect. And it wasn't. And I was hoping that through all of these earth-changing experiences that we would have changed and become better people, and that we could make the world a better place and not go back to what it was before. And the jury's still out on that. I've been kind of saddened and disappointed that some of these life lessons haven't stuck. It seems people are even more angry and confused and mean toward one another. And I don't understand that. In the beginning, when everything started in quarantine, I felt like people were finally calming down and singing from their balconies to each other. And I thought, oh, this is so great. It's a new world. There is still a lot of good in the world. And I always hope for better. All right. So ultimately, the movie review mom grade I'm giving this is a B+. But again, there are some parental warnings and just a heads up on the style of the filmmaking and the content may not be for everyone. But I immediately thought of two movies as I was watching this, probably because they happen both in Ireland and James McAvoy has this great Irish accent. Well, I don't know. I think it sounds great. It could be totally wrong, but I think he's a great actor, so I'm pretty sure he crushed it. But anyway, the first movie is called Billy Elliot, and the second one is called Sorry We Missed You. Both really interesting and insightful movies about people who are struggling and what they've done to adore, find love, and find hope and meaning. All right, that's it for my movie review. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. I hope you come back, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.